whatever he says happens. Whenever God speaks, whatever he says happens. Hi guys, this is Jose Luis. Yes, I'm just dropping in today, and just want to share a few things. Now, Trump has just won his second term to be the U.S. president, and this is and he's the second person, in history to win a non-consecutive second term. Because I think most people are used to that if someone wins first term, they do their second term straight away. Okay, but Trump is the second person to become president in a non-consecutive setup. The first person happened to be with us way back in the 1880s, 18 something there, right? That was first person, and then Trump is the second person to become president president on the second term that is non-consecutive, on a non-consecutive second term. Let's put it that way. So, which brings me to what I want to share, because there were some of you guys who on my pages and some of my platforms, you've seen me sharing the prophecy by Kim Clement. Now, Kim Clement is one of those people that I've followed for years before he passed away, because I loved the way he came across. I loved how he was a bit of old school and stuff like that. And even with the whole God TV situation, when Ronnie Alec, whatever happened there, I loved what he said about it. And there been other things. So he was one of the few people that I follow, or one of the few people that I was following at the time. So, and I was aware of the prophecy, of the 2-term prophecy. But what I want to share with you guys today is relating to that, because in the prophecy that I shared by Kim Clement, this was apparently that was it was recorded sometime in 2007. That was 17 years ago. In the prophecy, Kim Clement talks about the fact that he talks about the borders of protection, right? The borders. Now, for some of you guys who've been following Trump, you know that in this campaign, one of the key issues related to the election was the fact that there's an issue around borders. That was one of his key areas. Okay, there was issue of borders, and of course the economy. Everybody knows that. So in the prophecy, he talks about borders, and then also talks about the economy. Okay, fine. Economy, people might say, okay, that's a bit of common sense, but check that out. That prophecy was done in 2007. Okay, how did you know that in 2024 borders are going to be an issue? There you go. Not only that, but he also goes to say that Trump shall be there for 2 terms, and says in the beginning he wasn't praying. In the beginning you won't be like praying, and in the second, and then later be praying. So basically, what that means is, I believe that in the second term, people are going to see that Trump is going to be more prayerful than the first term, and I really believe that the second term is probably going to be usually have a very different approach to things to the first term. Because right now, if you listen to his winning speech, where he talks about, he's very much more God conscious. Let me put it that way, because I know the party was talking about the fact that he believed that God spared him for a purpose, for the work in hand, which is to get America to the next level and stuff like that, to save America basically. So he has I think this time around he's more God conscious, than previously. And I think specifically starting from the point his first assassination attempt, I think from that point onwards, I think he really had a more heightened, if I can call it that way, a more heightened God consciousness, in terms of recognizing that him surviving wasn't in accident or luck or anything, but it was actually because God spared him for the work in hand. All right? Yeah. So on that as well, So I wanted to share that with you guys, and then on that as well, way back, I think in 2022, thereabouts, there was a lot of stuff that happened related to the Trump situation when Trump lost and stuff like that. But the reason was because a lot of people, when they heard that Trump was going to do 2 terms, a lot of people assumed it's going to be 2 terms. You see, this is one of the reasons why a lot of people got in trouble previously, because that term that Trump lost, It was because people just automatically assumed that, well, Trump's going to do 2 terms, so they automatically assumed that the next term is he was going to be president again. So a lot of people, I believe a lot of people that were prophesying that Trump is going to win, and then you lost. A lot of people were prophesying that he's going to win. It was because some of them, they never heard from God, but they just heard that Trump is going to do 2 terms, and they ran with that. And then also looking at some of the major prophets saying things, and then they just jumped on the bandwagon that I know Trump is going to do 2 terms, so they automatically assumed it was going to be 2 consecutive terms. You see now. Yes, this is why people have to be very, very careful with the prophecy. This is why it's very, very important not to just say if you're a prophet and then just go jump on, jump on the bandwagon and then go with it just because you had some prophet, somebody saying something, and then you have not prayed about it. If God has not spoken about you, you just come and then rush with it. It's dangerous because that's exactly what happened. Where some people, just because they heard that Trump's going to do 2 terms, a lot of people just jumped on the bandwagon and said, "I know, Trump's going to win. Trump's going to win." But actually, the prophecy was Trump is going to do 2 terms. It did not specify whether Trump's going to do 2 consecutive terms. Now, if you listen to what Kim Clement said, he just said 2 terms. Not only that, he also talked about the borders and the economy, of which the economy and the borders, these are some of the issues that Trump was running on, as well as many other issues. Yeah, this is something that I want you to think about. Even that's why the Bible says we prophesy in part. Yes, we prophesy in part. So sometimes God speaks to a person on an angle of the certain thing, or the same thing, maybe gives him peace, the other person a peace, the other person a peace. This is why it's dangerous to make assumptions, because people heard that Trump's gonna do 2 terms. They assumed that no, it's gonna be 2 consecutive terms. People can say no, Trump's gonna win the next election, but it wasn't like that, because that was the part that Kim Clement got, that Trump's going to do terms. Simple. He was going to, the part that Kim Clement got was Trump's going to do 2 terms. And I've shared, I think I've been sharing the video a couple of times in some of my platforms way before these elections, way before, even months back. I remember sharing that particular clip many times, and I'll see if I can share it again. But the thing I want to stress about here is that the fact that it's very dangerous when people make assumptions. Yes, don't assume. You rather go back in prayer and let God speak to you some more before, and maybe seek for God's clearance before you rushing out there and make a prophecy, because a lot of prophecies, a lot of prophets destroyed their ministries. When Trump lost just a couple of years back, a lot of ministries destroyed their own integrity, their own credibility, because they jumped on the bandwagon. And I remember Jennifer and Claire saying that because everybody was prophesying Trump, she felt a pressure to say so. But for her, God had only spoken to her about the first term. And thank God, because she said she felt the pressure to prophesy a second term, because every major prophet was prophesying that Trump's going to win, right? But thank God she had the common sense and the decency not to do that. And she said, though she felt the pressure, she did not do that. Yes. She did not prophesy a second term, because God had not spoken to her. God had only spoken to her about the first term. That's what she had from God. And that's it. You see, but because a lot of people just sort of jumped on the bandwagon and say, they heard, no, Trump's going to do terms. They just jumped on the bandwagon. The next election, Trump's going to win. But Trump didn't win that. But Trump won this one. We praise God. We thank God for that, right? So in other ways, yeah. So in saying that Kim Clement prophecy was fulfilled, or is being fulfilled now, because Trump has won the second term. And I love the fact that Kim Clement was one of those people that I think I would consider one of those mature prophets. He was very I just love the way he did things. That's one of the reasons why I followed him, because I could connect with the way his way of doing things, a bit of old school and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to share with you guys today, and I'll leave it at that. But I think many people now have learned that sometimes when a prophetic word is given, don't be quick to assume. You see, people assumed that it's going to be consecutive terms, but that's not it, because people were used to that. You see, conditioning, human mind conditioning, affecting prophecy, because people used to say, I know when a person wins, if it's 2 terms, it's going to be consecutive, but that's not it. there's also room for non-consecutive terms. And Donald Trump is the second person to have two non-consecutive terms. And after that, he's done, and we'll see what happens. But I really believe that this is something that I'll share with you guys, so that we become very careful, particularly for those who are particularly for those who like to run around, with church tires and stuff like that. Look, I want to share that with you guys. Look, this sometimes what can happen. Be very careful out there, and don't assume things, or don't allow your conditioning to get in the way of actually what God said. Okay, I'll leave it at that. But I think it's a massive win for Trump. It's a massive win. I love this winning speech as well, and love the fact that he's more tough, he's more stern, and I think this is what Benjamin Netanyahu needs right now, particularly considering that there's a world of the enemies of democracy, which I'm not going to get into. But I think Benjamin Netanyahu needed somebody who's tough and more stern, who can stand alongside him. And I think Donald Trump is the man who can stand alongside Benjamin Netanyahu and stand, against the enemies of democracy. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I'll leave it at that, guys. And always remember, you can come on destiny. Catch you guys later. And of course, for all things prayer, check out the levels of prayer. See ya.